everyone, Aiden here. I want to address a certain question that I've been asked in the past. A lot of people tend to focus on the lighter aspect of life. It's especially with certain magical groups. Not saying that everyone's like this, but a lot of people are. They want to focus, on the good times, happy parties, life, etc., 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 the happy moments, and kind of push all the depressing, sad, bad aspect of life and things that they consider dark into the corner that nobody wants to be in. So it's kind of away from everyone's sight where everyone else is having a party and etc. That in that corner, death is considered to be part of it. It's kind of one of those things that we kind of, in our culture, we kind of hush hush. It's not really viewed as something all a natural part of life anymore. Now it's kind of, in comparison to how it was in the past with things like plagues and wars and such. It's kind of one of those things that we don't interact with as much anymore. It's not something that we see in everyday life as much. So it's considered to be something sad, unnatural, something we don't want to think about. So people tend to ask me, why do I work with death deities? Why do I want to work with the dead or with death energy in itself? Because they view it as something that is, dark and depressing. And they would think that, they don't think that would be much fun, and it would just lead to me being over serious, which I am pretty serious with my craft, I will admit that. But here's the reason why I look at death deities as kind of the ones I connect with the most. I guess, because of my, I don't want to say history, but it's kind of the only way of saying it. But, just kind of how I've viewed life in general over my period of time. I've dealt with things like, depression to the point where I had to be in the hospital for a little bit. I've dealt with a whole bunch of inner demons left and right. And, I guess in a way, it kind of lead me towards accepting, wanting to incorporate death in, because I view death not in the aspect of just the end of life, but the beginning of change in life. To me, death is a resting period where you're ending a cycle that no longer works for you, or is no longer helping you progress, in order to start a new cycle that will help you push forward, that will take you to a higher place, if you will. So, to me, death is very peaceful in that aspect. And from working with death for the past few months, I'm still fairly new into it. I've noticed a change in my perspective in life. I'm actually enjoying going out and being with people more. I'm enjoying really living life to the fullest, whether it's, watching movies, reading a good book, hanging out with people, or just laying around doing absolutely nothing. I'm enjoying life more. I'm taking more risks than I did in the past. I'm really living life to the fullest, because I know one day I'm going to die, and while my soul will be reincarnated, or that's my beliefs, my essence, who I am right now, is never going to exist again. So, I want to take as much experience as I can out of this life, and really not only learn, but just enjoy life as much as I can while I'm still here. So, to me, death is kind of one of those it's a reminder of things that will come to the end, but it's also kind of reminding you that it isn't the ultimate end, that there is more beyond. It's part of the cycle, but you have to acknowledge that life in both its light and dark aspect. I don't like putting death in dark, because I don't know, really. I don't think there's such thing as a dark art, if you will. So I will explain this in other videos, and I'll go into necromancy a little bit more. So yeah, that's kind of why I practice death. Death is very relaxing for me. It is something that I find to be spiritually fulfilling. I'm not, just one of those guys that's like, oh, I'm going to work with death because it's cool and, go gothic stuff. No, that's not me at all. It just feels right to me, and that's why I work with death. I don't find it depressing at all. I find that actually the opposite, focusing just on the happy aspects and, what things people considered great and, light, is actually very depressing for me just to focus on. Whereas death, knowing that things are going to change, and if I'm going through a hard time, I'm more open to actually experiencing it at its fullest, knowing that it's not going to last very long. So I understand how it feels, and when somebody else is going through that same time, I can maybe give some advice and show compassion to that person, because I know that eventually that bad feeling is going to die for me, and it might start for someone else, and I'll have that experience to help people. I guess it's kind of that, it's kind of a Buddhist philosophy, I believe you would look at it, where you experience the suffering as it is, so you can show compassion to someone else, but eventually you'll move on beyond that suffering, if you will. Or at least that's my take on it. Yeah, that's the reason why I work with death. I hope you guys found this interesting. If you guys have any questions about death deities or anything like that, let me know. I know quite a few of them. And just any questions in general, just let me know. And thank you for watching, and blessed be.